Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and it's Thursday. And for those of you who don't know, I don't work on Fridays, so Thursday's like my Friday. Very exciting day. I was really quite tired this morning, and I can't understand why, because I actually went to sleep well ahead of my normal bedtime last night. But obviously I am tired. Maybe it's just left over from all the excitement of last weekend. So, as a lot of you know, on Friday mornings, I allow myself to sleep in as much as my body needs to. And that's really a great gift I give myself. And I don't do a guilt trip, if I don't really function well until lunchtime. I find that with working all day and then answering the emails and doing the vlogging uploads and stuff like that in the evenings, it really does get fairly tiring, as I'm certain those of you who are more pragmatic or can understand. It's quite a time commitment. As some of you have found out, I know a couple of my viewers, I encourage them to actually start vlogging and editing videos and uploading them to actually see what it's like to do that on a daily basis or a near daily basis. Yeah, I must admit a couple of them have written back to me and said, wow, I had no idea. But it's a way of life. I mean, for some of us now, it's a way of life. I certainly did not expect to have it become a way of life. I really did think that I'd put up the occasional video. And anyway, I'm very, very grateful, especially as we get so close to the 1-year anniversary, which will be on Sunday. And I do encourage any of you that are available and any of you who are part of that initial group of people who helped launch DearMamaSal, and you know who you are, because you would have been part of either the broadcast group that joined on Blog TV in those days when we had Blog TV, or those that basically, if you were around between September and December, you're part of the initial group as far as I'm concerned. So I was just hoping that we would get to talk to some of you. We're going to go live on Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which hopefully will not make it too late for those of you on the East Coast, but just enough that we can just wish each other well and talk about some of the fond memories of our first year. Especially, I have obviously lots of people to thank, and because you don't get to do this on your own. You may need to keep it up on your own, maintain it, but you definitely don't get to do it on your own. I have said so many times, if it were not for the support of my viewers, I would have given this up probably a long time ago. And if it were not the incredible camaraderie, the sense of family that they have created. So it's really fun. It's been a really, really fun experience, and I've on the whole, I would say most of it I have enjoyed. I'd love to tell you I've enjoyed every single second of it, and that would not be true. Because every now and then you don't feel very well, or you don't feel that the comments are fair, or whatever. And that's life. That's what happens in life. I had one this morning where you go, really? And it's difficult because human nature says that, you will ignore all the good comments and then focus on the negative one. And I don't know why we do that as human beings. But it actually takes great self-control to not do that. And that's why one of the reasons I start with what people have said is I always like to remind myself that we're doing good. That we're helping people. I don't mean that I'm doing well, but that we as a community of people are giving people the courage to do things they haven't done. We're encouraging people to take risks they haven't taken. I mean, I'm talking calculated risks. I don't mean insane risks. We are supporting people who maybe are feeling traumatized or sad or agoraphobic or whatever it is that their stuff is, and hopefully helping them live a slightly better life. I don't think that for a second we're going to fix people who don't want to be fixed, because that's not possible. But what we can do is hopefully give them maybe a smile a day, maybe give them a moment to go, wow, I'm not as badly off as I thought I was. There are other people in a far worse situation. And that to me is what puts a smile on my face, that we get to do that to so many. And how do I know that? Because they write and tell me that. And that to me is extremely gratifying, worth every moment of the good and the bad, to be able to get some of those comments back from people where you just know that it was worth it for them. And that's fun. So on this wonderful Thursday morning, I was wondering what little snippet I could talk about today. And I've had some interesting comments back from you guys about some of the stuff I've been talking about recently. And I know that I have a very varied age group of people who watch, everything from young people through to people close to my age. And that makes it sometimes difficult to discuss certain things because it will only affect a certain age group. So I was trying to think of things I can talk about for you that are equally true of all age groups where possible. And we've talked in the past about things like goal setting and having dreams and achieving them. And it doesn't matter what age you are. I believe that everybody should have at least one goal that they're working towards. I don't care how small it is. And also to have the patience to follow it through. As some of you know, my present goal in my house renovation is to finish buying the tiles for the stainless steel backsplash, which are very, very expensive. And so I've allowed myself a budget of so much per payday. But unfortunately this payday that just went, I used up my disposable income, if you like, on buying stuff ready for the meet and greet on Sunday, last Sunday. So that was like, well, goodbye tiles. And I'm not a patient person, so there's part of me that's a little bit frustrated because I want to go out and buy the tiles and do it anyway. And that is fine. And I may still do it. And the reason for that is because I am now because of my age, I'm actually getting some pension money. And I've been putting that away into my savings account. So I've got that little bit of extra money sitting in there, and it's not very much, I must add. So I might just go and get those tiles anyway, because we've got a long weekend coming up. And I'm also going to take 3 days off at the beginning of September. And that would be a great time for me to actually get that tile work done. I found one thing that was a little bit difficult in doing it, which is by the time you got the tiles on, because you understand I'm putting tiles over tiles, the one thing I hadn't thought about, and it became an issue, was when you go to put the electrical plate back, the screws are not really long enough. So I've got to try and find some slightly longer screws. I would also like to try and find some stainless steel electrical plates that do double socket ones. I found the single socket ones but not double socket ones, so that's what Google's for. I'll have to go look for some. I bet you somebody's selling them. Because I can't be the only person in the world that needs them. So therefore they must be available somewhere. The other thing that gets awkward though is that even though you may have the stainless steel socket cover, you've also got the on-off switch for the carburetor, which is, in my case, cream. And so my answer to that would be, I know what to do. I've actually got stainless steel paint at home, literally. I used it on a couple of things that I wanted to modernize them a bit. That's the answer. Stainless steel paint. I can use that on the socket covers as well, because I've done it before now. I'm so glad I talked to you about this. And I found that out when I was doing some paintings. I actually bought the stainless steel paint because I thought it was really cool to do some paintings. And I also bought some gold type paint. So now I've got to remember where I got them. And that would be another Google moment, I guess. So that's really exciting to have solved a problem for today. What a good day it is already. So what have we just discovered here? Sometimes it's good to actually think through your problems, I guess, as though you're talking to somebody, because it releases your mind to start thinking of answers. It opens your mind up. As somebody wrote to me yesterday, this is really quite an important comment that they made, and I meant to talk about it anyway, so I'm glad that the one thing led to the other, which is that she found out that when she starts to get a little depressed, excuse me, music, excuse me, I've still got a bit of my laryngitis going on, that music helps change her mood. She plays music, and that makes a lot of sense because it's creative. It's rhythmic, it's creative, it's, music is a wonderful thing. And I don't mean necessarily blaring hard rock music. I'm talking about music that will soothe the mind. Really, when you get into what I call a sad mood or a depressed mood, a lot of the time you've got so many things going through your mind. It's like total overwhelm. And that's why you shut down. You've got too many problems going on. You've got too many judgments going on. You've got too many this, too many that. And it's just like, no, stop. And so we're inclined to do avoiding behaviors. And those avoiding behaviors may be spending too much time on the computer or whatever else it is you do to do it. I personally, when I talk to people who have any sort of mood disorder, I really encourage them to work on doing their way out of the mood. And I say doing their way out. In other words, don't sit and think, don't sit and veg. Do something. Do something that gives you satisfaction, or do something that gives you a reward. Throw away 4 bits of something out of the room that you've been trying to clean out. and give yourself, a big pat on the back for getting rid of 4 more things. Sometimes you just have to break it down into stupid amounts. And I say this because, I've got a room that I'm trying to clean out, and it's my back office. And I've been trying to clean it out for as long as I've been talking to you. Well, I guess I am down to about 10 boxes now. And that's good. And they're sort of paper, when I say paper boxes, the sort of size boxes that Staples and people like that deliver packs of paper in. I bring them home from work and use them to cover up the stuff that I'm trying to not look at. And so, here's the joke. With 365 days of this year, if I had thrown away 4 bits of something every day, I would be clear. But the reality is I've probably only thrown away handfuls of stuff maybe once or twice a month. Because I've been so busy doing all the other things. So, that I went to dinner with a friend of mine last night, and she asked me what would I like for my birthday, and I repeated the same thing I said to her last year. I said what I'd really like for my birthday is for you to give me some time. And the time to come and help me with my back office. And she immediately told me that she couldn't lift anything heavy, and I said, I understand that. I'm not asking you to lift, I'm asking you to sit with me, with a garbage bag between us, and help me just go, it is junk. Or even if it isn't junk, it's time for it to go. And maybe that's the more important thing, because I think now that I'm down to the last few boxes, I'm down to the stuff that isn't junk. And the difficulty is there's that mentality that goes, even though it's not junk, it is time for it to go. I've still got so much stuff that has to do in the days when I was still a speaker. Why am I holding on to it? Why am I holding on to old letterheads, old envelopes that I'm not going to use again for that purpose? I just need to pick it up and throw it away, but you have no idea how difficult that is for me. And so that's why I need help. So, actually, that would have been the smart thing to do for a birthday party, was to get my close, very, very close friends together and say, okay, help me get rid of this stuff. Because that would have been a great birthday present. Good thinking. All right, so I'm on my way to work. I'm about 3/4 of the way there, and